and showed up to work looking so rough that my boss pulled me aside to ask if I was using substances. That made me realize that this living situation was destroying my professional life along with my personal one. That day, I signed a lease for a studio apartment and started planning my escape carefully by slowly packing boxes and storing them in my trunk while changing my mailing address to a P.O. box. I kept all my important documents, including therapist records, in my car after signing the lease, knowing I might need them. I waited for Maddie's graduation weekend when I knew they'd all be gone, but my mother noticed a credit check notification on my account since she still monitored my finances despite my age. They confronted me during dinner, where they demanded to know why I'd betray the family like this. Dad screamed about how I was abandoning my responsibilities, while Mom sobbed that I was killing her by refusing to support Hayden through his struggles. Then they gave me an ultimatum that I could leave, but I'd be dead to them with no holidays or family events or relationship with Maddie's future kids. When I tried to explain that I just needed basic privacy and sleep to function at my job, they kicked me out and put my belongings in garbage bags on the lawn. They even had the audacity to leave a note saying I could come back when I learned about family values. When I didn't come back after a day like they expected, my parents began calling my workplace to report that I was having a mental breakdown and needed help. They nearly got me fired until I provided the documentation from my therapist about the abusive living situation. When they realized that tactic didn't work, they showed up at my new apartment demanding I let them in because family doesn't abandon family. But I called building security when they wouldn't leave. When security arrived, they tried to claim me as a dependent on their taxes since I'd lived with them part of the year, forcing me to hire a lawyer to prove my independence. Their next call came with a very different tone because Maddie had moved back home after graduation, expecting to live rent-free in her suite. She brought her boyfriend, who stayed nightly for his anxiety. And when my parents tried setting boundaries, Maddie threw their own words back about family supporting each other. Within months, she'd taken over, treating them like servants while contributing nothing. They called begging me to talk sense into her, sobbing they couldn't afford the house without my rent money since Maddie refused to pay. When they asked to stay in my studio temporarily, I reminded them that real men don't need princess towers and changed my number permanently.